The blade of betrayal never comes from the enemy's battle lines, but from those we give our whole hearts to. A friend who suddenly turns ice cold, a lover who silently slips away like a ghost, a colleague who plants seeds of poison behind our backs when we least expect it. The most bitter truth is, we are always ambushed in the dark. But what if I told you the cracks were already spreading silently? Carl Jung, the master of psychology, believed that betrayal is not just a random act of cruelty. It is a meticulously orchestrated psychological drama, played out within the very heart of human relationships. When we lift the veil of secrecy, we will never again be prey to surprise. So, what drives people to betray? And how can we read the warning signs before it's too late? Join me as we unravel these mysterious pages, for what you are about to discover will forever change your perspective on the world around you. What makes people turn their backs? Betrayal is not a single act, but a simmering psychological earthquake, waiting to shatter everything. Carl Jung believed that it stems from the demons hidden deep within the soul, what he called the shadow self. That means when someone betrays us, it's not about us, but about their own inner battles, their shadows, their buried desires, their internal conflicts. These are the true forces at play. Firstly, betrayal often originates from jealousy. Carl Jung, the eminent psychologist, considered jealousy one of the most destructive forces in human relationships. Jealousy arises when someone sees in you what they yearn for but lack: success, confidence, intelligence, relationships, or simply inner peace. When a close person secretly resents you, they may not realize it first, but over time, their jealousy simmers, turning into bitterness and ultimately betrayal. Here are the warning signs of jealousy, the harbinger of betrayal: fake compliments and sarcastic remarks. Those who secretly envy you often mask their jealousy with flattery. They might say, "Oh, you got promoted, must be because of your connections, right? You're so lucky," while some of us have to work our fingers to the bone. At first, it sounds like a compliment, but beneath it lies resentment. They cannot sincerely celebrate your success, so they belittle it and diminish the value of your achievements. When you achieve something great, an envious person won't be happy for you. Instead, they'll find ways to make it seem less impressive. You start a business, they say. "Yeah, but how long do you think it will last?" You get in better shape, they say. "Easy when you have time for the gym." They don't attack you openly, but they slowly erode your confidence, making you doubt yourself. Sudden attachment and cold behavior. An envious person might suddenly withdraw. They might stop replying to your messages, exclude you from plans, or act indifferent to your good news. Why? Because your success reminds them of their perceived failures. Instead of facing their insecurities, they choose to cut you out of their lives, or worse, betray you behind your back. Imagine you and a colleague start working at the same company at the same time. You work hard, take initiative, and soon get promoted. Instead of congratulating you, your colleague starts spreading rumors. They say you got promoted because the boss favors you. They downplay your efforts in meetings. They act friendly to your face, but secretly try to sabotage your reputation. That's jealousy turning into betrayal. 2. The power struggle. Sometimes, betrayal isn't about jealousy or insecurity, but about control. Carl Jung believed that relationships often involve hidden power dynamics. Some people only feel secure when they're in control, and when they feel that power slipping away, they will betray to regain dominance. Have you ever encountered a friend, boss, or partner who seemed supportive at first, but turned against you the moment you started asserting yourself? That's a sign they never saw you as an equal, but as a pawn to manipulate. For example, you start excelling at work, perhaps even surpassing your supervisor. Instead of acknowledging your contributions, they suddenly become critical, micromanage you, take credit for your work, or even sabotage your chances for promotion. They feel threatened by your competence, so they betray you to maintain their power. Consider a friend or partner who likes to control. At first, they seem to want the best for you, but when you start making your own decisions, setting boundaries, or gaining confidence, they become cold or worse, manipulate you with guilt, anger, or silence. Why? because your independence threatens their sense of control. Jung described power struggles as unconscious battles between egos. When someone builds their self-worth on controlling others, they see your growth as a loss of power, so they retaliate. They might undermine your confidence with sarcastic compliments or discouraging words, create drama to make you feel like the bad guy, play the victim to make you feel guilty and compliant. How do you protect yourself from these people? Recognize power plays. If someone only supports you when you're dependent on them, that's a warning sign. Stand your ground. Don't let emotional manipulation make you doubt yourself. Surround yourself with people who genuinely support your growth, not those who want to control it. Those who betray for power and control were never truly on your side. They only liked you when you were easier to manipulate. 3. Betrayal as a dark mirror, reflecting the inner self. Carl Jung, the master of psychology, unveiled the secret of the shadow self, the buried parts, the hidden corners of the soul that we refuse to acknowledge. Sometimes, betrayal happens when someone projects their own flaws, fears, or dark desires onto you. Have you ever been accused of something you didn't do by the very person who did it? Perhaps a friend who constantly weaves lies accuses you of dishonesty, or someone secretly consumed by envy insists that you are the envious one. That's their shadow manipulating your life. You have a friend who always spreads gossip behind others' backs. One day, they suddenly accuse you of gossiping, even though you did nothing wrong. Why? Because they see a reflection of their own toxic behavior in you, even though it's not real. Instead of facing their own flaws, they blame you. Suppose you have a partner who constantly accuses you of infidelity, checks your phone, or questions your loyalty, even though you are completely faithful. They might be hiding their own guilt. Their betrayal is projected onto you, so they don't have to face their own wrongdoing. Jung believed that when people refuse to face their dark side, they seek an external scapegoat to blame. That's an unconscious defense mechanism. They betray you before they dare to admit their own flaws. They cheat, so they suspect you. They lie, so they assume you do too. They are insecure, so they accuse you of jealousy. They betray you not because of who you are, but because of who they are. Here's how to protect your soul's kingdom from such people. Recognize when someone is casting off their shadow. If their accusations seem baseless, they're likely exposing their own flaws, not yours. Don't let those accusations stain your soul. Their betrayal is about them, not you. Build strong walls. You cannot heal someone who refuses to face their inner darkness. When someone betrays you through projection, understand this. You were never the problem. They are fighting their own demons. For the shadow self and silent resentment. Carl Jung, the master of psychology, taught that each of us carries a shadow, a collection of thoughts, emotions, and desires that we suppress because they don't fit our ideal self-image. But when these feelings are buried for too long, they rise and haunt others. Consider this. Has someone close to you suddenly become hostile, seemingly for no reason? Perhaps they begin to silently criticize, belittle your achievements, or distance themselves from you. Often, your success or confidence has triggered something unresolved in them, perhaps jealousy, insecurity, or even self-hatred. Carl Jung's concept of the shadow self is one of the most powerful explanations for human behavior, especially when it comes to betrayal. The shadow represents the parts of ourselves that we suppress or deny because they don't fit the image we want to project to the world. These hidden emotions, jealousy, insecurity, anger, or feelings of inadequacy, don't disappear. They lurk beneath the surface, waiting for an outlet. Imagine you have a close friend who always supported you until you started achieving more success than them. At first, they congratulated you, but something felt off. They stopped celebrating your victories with genuine excitement. Their compliments began to sound hollow. Over time, they withdrew, became distant, or even subtly sabotaged you. What's happening? Their shadow self has been activated. Deep down, they feel envious, inadequate, or even abandoned. But instead of facing and acknowledging these feelings, their mind finds an easier way. projecting their negativity onto you to justify their emotions. They might start thinking, they don't deserve this more than I do, or they've changed, they're not the same person anymore. This is how betrayal begins, long before any actual act of disloyalty. The mind builds a case against you, distorting reality to protect their ego. For example, imagine working with someone who has always been a teammate, a collaborator. You share ideas, help each other out, and celebrate successes. But then you get promoted, and suddenly their attitude changes. They stop sharing information. They start gossiping about you. At first, it seems minor, but then they actively work against you, even try to discredit you in front of others. Their shadow self can't handle your success because deep down, they feel they deserve it more. But instead of facing their feelings, they turn their resentment into betrayal. Another example, suppose you've been working on improving yourself, getting healthier, building better habits, or even starting a successful business. You expect your closest friends to support you, right? But instead, one of them starts making sarcastic remarks. Oh, look at you, all disciplined now. How wonderful. Think you're better than everyone else now, don't you? At first, you might brush it off as a joke, but soon you notice a pattern. They stop showing up for you. They belittle your achievements. They might even outright discourage you. Why? Because your growth is a reminder of their stagnation. Instead of being inspired, their shadow self resents you. How do you recognize and protect yourself? Pay attention to subtle changes in behavior, distance, sarcasm, lack of support. Trust your gut. If something feels off, it usually is. Set boundaries. If someone consistently belittles you, create distance. Don't take it personally. Remember their betrayal is about them, not you. Betrayal rarely happens suddenly. It's a slow psychological shift rooted in unresolved emotions. And once you understand how the shadow self works, you'll start noticing these warning signs before the knife is in your back. And finally, I sincerely thank all of you for taking time to watch this video. If you found it helpful and meaningful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support me in creating more quality content. Thank you so much.